Hi guys, so I wanted to do a video to explain in a little bit more detail about part of 5.6, explain, elaborate, and evaluate, because I know it can be a little bit confusing. This is a typo, so I'm going to fix it right now. Based on some of the work that I've done with my other class. And so I wanted to go over it with you guys so that you had a step-by-step direction, especially if you guys are a visual learner. So for the explain, the other parts are pretty easy. So for the elaborate, you guys are, all the information is there. You just have to read through the information, then answer the questions. And then evaluate is just you evaluating how you're feeling about the content. So the explain is the one that I want to go over in some more detail with you guys. So it says, open the Sci Fly encounter activity. From this link, you have to make a copy and follow the directions on the activity and then answer the questions below. So you're going to link your document here because when you click on this link, it's going to force you to make your own copy of the Google Doc. So here's my copy. So then what I would do is I would click share and then make sure that it's people with the link can open it. Copy the link, paste it back there for me, please. And then from there, I'm going to teach you guys the rest of the directions. But make sure I have the link or else I can't give you credit for this work. So there are 8 traits of fruit flies in this table below. So there's eye color, head shape, thorax, body segment, mouth, number of wings, and number of legs. And so over here is what the normal body part looks like. So normally eye color is white, oval head shape, thorax is what it looks like, segmented body, cone mouth, 2 wings, 6 legs. That's what it normally looks like. But mutations can randomly happen. And so we're going to simulate the random mutations that can occur. And so I'm going to go through one round with you guys and explain how to do the steps, and then hopefully you guys will be able to do the rest. But remember, if you guys have questions or you want me to explain more, send me an email so I can answer your questions. So what you guys are going to do is you're going to roll a dice. If you have one at home, great. If you don't, just Google dice roller and an electronic version will come up. And so to start, what we're going to do is I skipped a step. So you guys are first going to choose 4 of the traits. You do not need to do all of them. If you choose to do all of them and draw a picture, you can get extra credit. That's the last step down here, but you only have to choose 4. So let's just pick the first trait. And so the first step tells you that you need to transcribe your master DNA into your mRNA sequence. And so let's just do eye color. So the DNA sequence for eye color is GATCCC. But remember, during transcription, we take that DNA and we make a transcript of it into our mRNA. And so we talked about the fact that based on the bases in our DNA, we will know our bases in our mRNA because they're complementary. So if we have a G in our DNA, you are going to have a C in your mRNA. If you have an A in DNA, you are going to have a U. If you have a T in DNA, you will have an A in mRNA. And if you have C's in DNA, you're going to have G's. So we're going to go G, G, G in our mRNA. Now we need to move on to step 2, which is to roll the dice because mutations are random. Dice rolling is random. So it helps us figure out what type of mutation that we could see. So I'm not going to roll the dice because I actually want to go over 3 and 4 with you guys. But if you roll a 1 or a 2, this is a silent mutation. So you're always going to change the second nucleotide in any of our examples. The directions tell you how to change that second nucleotide. But in a silent one, the amino acid doesn't change because it's silent. It's not having an effect on our amino acid sequence or our protein. So if it's silent, you roll a 1 or a 2, you're going to write a no here. If you roll a 3, 4, 5, or 6, that's going to cause a mutation to change our protein. So the only time that this is a no is if you roll a 1 or 2. Still follow all the directions, but I'm going to walk you through what these steps look like if we rolled a 3. So let's say I rolled a 3. So I scroll up here. If I roll a 3, this is a point mutation in our DNA. So then I write point mutation. And then I go up here to the directions to figure out how my DNA is mutated because of this point mutation. So it says change the second nucleotide in the DNA sequence from the original to a different base and write it in the appropriate area on the data table. So what that means is I'm just going to copy and paste my master DNA. So Control C, Control V. And so it wants us to change the second base. Let's say that it goes to a C. Now we need to write out our mutated DNA. So G goes to C in the in our mRNA. But now look, we used to have a U there because our original DNA had an A. But now we have a C. And so now we're going to go G, A, G, G, G for our mutated mRNA. Because this is a point mutation, the amino acid changes. So again, if you roll a 1 or a 2, that's a silent mutation. You are still going to change something in the DNA, and which has an effect on the mRNA, but you write a no here for a change in the amino acid sequence because it's not having an effect on the protein. But point mutations, and then the third option up there, if you roll a 5 or a 6, is called a frame shift mutations, and those also change the amino acid sequence. So once you've done these steps, once you have identified, because we rolled a 3, our amino acid sequence is going to change. Remember, that's in the directions that it tells you this. The fun part is that you get to decide how that body part mutates. So because I like rainbows, I'm going to have a rainbow eye color for my mutation. Now, if I had rolled a 1 or a 2 and I had a silent mutation, this would be blank because it wouldn't have changed from the normal since it's a silent mutation. And so you are going to do that process for 3 other characteristics. You only have to have 4 total. And you can pick which ones you want to do. It says you can draw them or describe them. I'm not great at drawing, also figuring out how to put drawings into all of this stuff in Google Docs. And so I am totally fine if you guys just write descriptions. So maybe instead of an oval head, it's going to have a square head if it mutates. So again, please let me know if you guys have questions on this. Follow the directions, take your time, re-watch my video here as you guys need to go through each of the steps to help you out. And so, like I said, this is the first part of the explain. Then once you guys have completed your 4 traits, you're going to answer these 3 conclusion questions and then move on to the elaborate and evaluate. So let me know if you guys need anything. Hopefully this helps clarify those directions for you guys.